Well, as a complete distraction from trying to get the Willys pickup truck running perfectly, or the Willys wagon up there in the garage, tent number 2 that is, or the postal Jeep. Complete distraction is this beautiful old 1965, I think, Ford F350 flatbed duallie. The flatbed is completely toasted, as is most of the rest of the truck, but I have used it as a runner for many a year. Sadly, when I tried to charge the battery this morning, my 21st century battery charger said, "Battery failure." I'm pretty sure that's not the case, although it's been sitting all winter for many a year. It's been out in the rain, and sadly, through nothing but neglect by me, the battery compartment is now toast. I don't have a good light in here, but you can see that this is the only really significant rust in the whole truck. Everything else is pretty intact. Hasn't yet gone all the way through, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to salvage it, put some rust preventer on it, and keep these from deteriorating any further. Too many projects, not enough time, of course. Oh, hi, Chewy. That's my girl. You're on a leash because we're out on the front street. Okay. Well, thanks for coming and visiting, Chew. And thank you, guys. I'll come back to you in another video. I guess we'll start the Ford farm truck series. Too many projects. Way too old for this. But that seems to be the extent of the rust just underneath the pad there. So if I can solve this problem, then we're good to go for a while. And then I'll have some opportunity to deal with the rusted out deck. And there's definitely some other portions of the truck that need full attention. Meanwhile, the dog's tangled up in my legs here. Chewy, that's a good girl. You're a beautiful dog. Good morning. Every once in a while you get a couple of weeks of beautiful spring weather in the Pacific Northwest, and this is one of them. Trees are blossoming. Bushes are starting to bloom. Don't have much in the way of blossoms happening, but what little ones we do are happening. So what am I doing? Well, working on a beat up old truck, of course. The rust is extensive in the entire truck, but in particular down here on the passenger floor. And I've brushed it off, wire brushed it off as best I can. Gonna have to live with that. And we're gonna put some rust preventer on it and then hope that that will help. I'll be back in a minute. Right, well, we're back. It's a terrible mess, and I should fill that and do all sorts of things, but I might seam seal. Actually, I should probably seam seal, but I think I'm going to do the rust preventer first, partly because it's here and partly because this truck is beyond actual saving. Right, well, turning black as midnight pretty much everywhere. That may be of some assistance. It's certainly better than doing nothing. So I think we're going to leave this here and let it set itself up for drying, and then we'll be back. Morning again. Put a second coat on the battery tray. Well, it's pretty obvious to me that I'm going to have to wait a day or more for this to dry. It's just a puddle of black, rusty, god-awful mess. So we'll be back in a day or so. Well, it's been primed. It's been rust preventer primer, then primer, now a coat of almond color paint. I think we'll call that better than it was, and we'll leave it at that for now. About to put the battery in and see if I can't get this little puppy started, which was the original intention 3 days ago. Okay, well that's in. Let's go sit over here and see if we can make this puppy work. Next old age. Difficult to get into this thing. So why do I want to drive it, you ask? Well, got some brakes, got the emergency brake on, got it in neutral for a second, got some choke. One more. I think what we'll do is put some anchor into it. They're loaded. Come on. That's my baby. Yay! Success! Who knew? Fantastic old Ford straight six. Had the pleasure of trying to find an exhaust manifold because I had a huge crack in it, and they don't exist, not for this block. Everybody said put headers on it, and I was like no, and I caught my friend Ted, and he came over and he welded it up. We heated it. We used I think a silicon bronze rod, I think is what he used, I'm not sure. Whatever is appropriate for cast iron, and then it's held, got 95% of the holes filled, not all of them, but But it's such a simple engine. You could sleep inside the engine compartment and not touch anything. It's so big. And it's been a very reliable truck. So let's go check the oil. I'm going to take the tripod and set that up. I don't think I've ever changed out this oil on anything other than 1030. Yeah, I could use a quart of oil. Fantastic old truck. Needs a little bit of love and attention, but who doesn't? Well, let's pretend that we're just going to go once around the block. No seatbelts in this, none required. steering on this little puppy. And given how weak I am these days, it makes no sense to drive it. I don't think I'll take it out of second gear today. I think we'll just be happy with what we got. Split rim tires on here, so it's dangerous as hell to change them out, and nobody else does it but one mobile guy, and he's pretty expensive. I don't think I would ever change out the tires on this thing except for a flat. I've got one spare under a pile somewhere. And do we have any? Yeah, we do have turn signals. Yes, good. Bumping seems to have gone down a little bit. I believe is reading. Can't read any of this shit anymore. I'm too blind. Who needs a fuel gauge as long as you know you got fuel in it? Alright, so now comes the major challenge. Get it up the driveway, get it out in front of the house. Yeah, we'll call that a victory. Yeah, that was fun. Victory. So, maybe have to deal with the rust on the ceiling. Might have to deal with rust everywhere, but for today, we are done. Thanks for coming and watching.